Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rosalie and thank you so much for visiting Cetina Country Cottage. I am so glad that you stopped by to visit and welcome to my 2020 fall home tour. So starting at my entryway, this is where I was just standing to give you that full view of our open floor plan and common living space. This is our entryway. And I absolutely love the primitive home decor style. I think it's timeless, rustic, and warm and cozy. And I just love using dark colors such as black on my furniture and warm wood tones. And of course, I love incorporating antiques and reproductions. So in my entryway here, I have a settler's bench that I designed and my husband built for me a couple years ago. And I love just styling it for every season. So this season I incorporated and hung on the pegs some tea towels that have a dark, muted, primitive pattern on them. And then I had my husband whip up some of these wood stars. I've seen them on Pinterest before. I wanted them rather large to take up the space up above, and so it didn't look too empty up there because I didn't want to make it real busy on that little shelf. So he whipped those up for me, and if you like these, I would love it if you would comment and thumbs up this video and let us know if this is something that you would like to see us start selling in our product line. We would love to hear from you about that. So moving into our keeping room, which most of you would probably call this a living room or a family room. And as you can see, it is, again, black furniture, a pop of white with the bottom part of our coffee table. And I do have white shutters that, yes, again, my husband built for me some years ago. They used to be red, but then going with a more neutral palette, I had him just paint them this white color. It's more of a cream color. And so let's step into this room. I kept having to tell myself that to keep the decor really simple. I tend to gravitate when I'm scrolling through Instagram or Pinterest. I tend to gravitate towards accounts and photos that have really simple decor, that don't have much going on, but you could definitely tell what season they're celebrating in their home. But I just think it's so calming and beautiful, and there's just such beauty in simplicity, in my opinion. So I added 3 antique wood bowls. These are probably 3 of my largest wood bowls with some greenery from Primitive Star Quilt Shop These are actually, this greenery is, there are a couple of picks, and I just kind of wrapped them around in the bowl and then just placed some cream pumpkins. The 2 game boards are a recent Facebook Marketplace sign, and I just love those. I love collecting game boards, and all of my game boards though are reproductions. And then on top are some really dark brown antique whiskey jugs. If you've been with me for a little while, you may notice a slight change. I had my husband build 2 doors on the bottom of this corner piece here, and I just love the way it turned out. I've seen antique pieces that have doors on the bottom and just 1 or 2 or shelves on the top, and with COVID, I didn't want to go hunting for a new antique corner hutch, so I had him add these doors here, and I think it turned out great. I love it. And on this large entertainment center, I have a dough bowl up on top that I just tucked pumpkins and bittersweet with some leaves and just made a really simple display. Here is a small wall in my keeping room. This is our faux mantle. I recently picked up these pewter pitchers on eBay. And then I love this bowl rack that Gregory built for me, my husband, so that I could display some of my antique wood bowls. And then I just added a simple gourd and cinnamon stick garland there. Okay, so this is the view into our kitchen. And we have a smaller size kitchen, so I like to keep clutter down to a minimum, and I get to kind of display my antique crocks by making them functional. So instead of just having them as decorations, I keep all of my cooking utensils in there and items on the counter that I use on a daily basis. The cutting boards that you see are definitely decorative, but they're pressed up against the backsplash, so they really don't take up too much space. This is a new piece in the corner here. It's called a corner cupboard. I love it. I use it to hold all my bread and items like that that I access every day almost for the kids. And I picked this up at Red Fox Primitives. I've mentioned their store before. They have a lovely online store. I will link them down below, and you could check out all of their quality items that they offer in their shop. I do like styling for you all this noodle board, and so for this season I just kept it again really simple and just added some faux baked goods with a couple of pumpkins on a cutting board that is functional and I use all the time. I've gotten questions before about where I keep my noodle board when I don't have it on display, and on a daily basis I have it on my dryer, and it covers the whole top of the dryer perfectly, and I just have all of my items that I use for laundry set on there. So it still looks really prim and nice, but it's in another area of the home on a daily basis. And then on this side of the counters, I usually have the same display up, which is like this, but I added this season some reproduction candy molds in the shape of pumpkins. I picked those up on eBay. And then again, using a couple of antique crocks to house little collections that I have. So there's some butter paddles and rolling pins, and then a Cetina Country Cottage tea towel crane, and a couple of layered tea towels. This timer taper candle that's grubby, and the holder you can find at Primitive Star Quilt Shop. The paper towel holder, I love it. It has a good amount of, it has some weight to it, so you can easily just grab a paper towel and pull it right off without holding down the holder. And I picked that up years ago on Antique Farmhouse. These are just some birthday flowers that I got over a Labor Day weekend. I celebrated a birthday, and one of my mom's gifts were just a bouquet of flowers. She always brings me flowers, and I just love them. And there is an old cash register number that I just put and tucked in there. In this old crock, I have all my K-cups for my coffee. And here is our breakfast nook, which again, I'm trying not to have a lot of items out on display and trying to keep it really simple. This is Miss Sally. I nicknamed her Sally Swan. She was a Facebook Marketplace find. I always like to spruce up my chandelier, which by the way used to be a brass color, and it came with the house when we bought it 7 years ago, and Gregory just spray painted it oil rub bronze, and there you go. I love the way it turned out. I love the shape. So for now, it's staying up, and I just decorate it with every season. On this primitive wall shelf piece, I just have a simple harvest time sign, and I added a couple of cream colored pumpkins along with some of my pewter collection. I've gotten a lot of comments these past couple of years on YouTube and Instagram about these white shutters. Gregory built them for me, I designed them, he put them up for me. As of right now, we're not thinking of selling them, but I appreciate all the kind comments and all the interest in them. He also made this little shelf, which a lot of you have contacted me and are interested in. So if you would like to see these corbels and this small shelf for sale and added to our product line, please leave me a comment down below so that we can see how many of you would be interested in this particular little shelf. Okay, so from our breakfast nook, we are going to walk into the sitting room. And if you have been with me for a little while or have seen other home tours, you will notice that there is a couple of changes in this room. The first one that I want to point out are these wingback chairs. So when I was thinking about decorating for fall, I really wanted to keep a neutral palette. And these chairs have red fabric on them, and they work out great for my Americana decor during the summer and for Christmas. But for fall and spring, I like to keep everything pretty neutral. But I love these so much, the way that they turned out. So here's a little story. So with this early American style of wingback chairs, you can't just pop on to Amazon and buy some slip covers. They just don't carry this shape. And so my mom sews. She's never sewed slip covers, but I asked her, "You think you could do it, Mom?" And she's all, "Yeah, I'll be up for the challenge." So we went to Joann's, picked up some really neutral fabric. I almost went with a drop cloth fabric and just bought some drop cloths, but I found something pretty similar at Joann's. And my mom watched a couple YouTube videos, and there you go. I think she did a fabulous job, and I'll always think of my mom when I look at these chairs now. So thanks, Mom, so much. I love the way that they turned out. I love that they add just a pop of brightness to all of the dark decor, and I just love that I love the way they turned out. They definitely look homemade, which adds to that primitive flair that I love to feature in our home. And then another piece that is new to this space is this primitive cupboard above the mantle. So I wanted something to be stationary here. I was kind of tired of every season having to completely think of what I was gonna put on the mantle. And so I had him build this cupboard, which I love, and the little door does open. I don't have anything displayed this season in there, but stay tuned for Christmas because I'm already getting ideas of what I want to have there. And so for this season, I just folded a few textiles, added a crow. On the top shelf, I have a little pewter collection going on there, and just that simple white pumpkin so that you can tell we're celebrating fall. On the mantle itself, I do have one strand of garland, which is from Primitive Star Quilt Shop. It's the same greenery that were in the keeping room in those wood bowls. And then I just added some little fall pods, if you will, that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They come on one large pick, and I just snip them off and kind of tuck them into the garland just to add an extra touch of fall. And then I think the lanterns make the space look rustic and cozy. So I love the way that both of those new items turned out for this space. Here alongside this jelly cupboard, I started collecting these antique butter churns. I love the size of them. I love stacking them. These are the only 3 that I have so far, but I'm just starting out this collection. I absolutely love the way that these look. And on the jelly cupboard here is another dough bowl, and then I just added some large gourds in bittersweet. And then above the jelly cupboard is one of our blanket cranes, which I just layered 3 primitive pattern runners in the same color palette, but I love the different patterns and how they just blend beautifully layered on our blanket cream. Now, I don't usually have this jelly cupboard open all the time, but let me show you what I have in here. So I know this is in here, and sometimes maybe I'll take a photo for Instagram or something and I'll open this, but I added just some simple pumpkins and some of my whiskey jugs and crocks, and then of course some of my textile collection. It's those little things that make you happy. I don't usually have this open and displayed, but I know it's there, and if I want to peek inside and leave it open like for the day or something, just to look at my little collections, I will do so. I think with textiles, you can really change up a room, a space. So if you are currently decorating in a more modern farmhouse way and you have a lot of white, you can just simply add some reproduction wood pieces to give it warmth, and then incorporate some primitive textiles like this pillow and the rug, drape over a throw on one of your cream chairs, and it gives the space more of a rustic, primitive look that if you want to play around with the primitive decor style, I think that would be a great place to start. So this is the end of my 2020 fall home tour. I hope you have gotten some primitive farmhouse inspiration for your home. And again, I will have items linked down below in the description box. I would love for you to consider joining my YouTube family, so please subscribe and hit the bell for new upcoming videos. Thank you so much for stopping by Cetina Country Cottage. Take care and God bless.